I started stream. I started streaming February 3rd, that was a Monday, to do weekday streams from 3 to 5 p.m. This has been incredibly helpful for myself as desperation is coming along a lot nicer. This gives me a minimum of 10 hours a week while I do have a professional job in the industry as a game designer. This gives me a minimum 10 hours a week to work on this project, and I love this project. I've had a lot of really fun interactions and good feedback from friends and new friends on the stream. I'm currently almost to affiliate. As of making this video, I sit at 22 followers, and that's the biggest thing I'm missing. I'm missing about 28 followers, and because you have to hit 50 followers, an average of 3 viewers, 8 hours of stream time, and stream 7 days. Currently, I'm at 5 days with 10 hours, a little bit over, and an average viewer of 3.5 around there last time I was checked. So I'm missing one milestone, and we'll get that. We'll hit it eventually. But this first week of streaming has been a lot of fun. Honestly, I thought it was going to be more daunting and tiresome, and it was going to be kind of something I would have to get used to. And I'm definitely getting more used to it, but it's something I have a lot of fun with. Often I want to stream further and longer, but I do have another job. I have to put hours in, and I have to make dinner, take care of dogs. There's all stuff like that, but there's a chance if this continues and I do hit affiliate, I do want to start streaming even longer. But for this week, we got quite a bit done. I first started the week off by finishing some of the environmental sprites. The environment for the overworld, is what I'll call it, is made up of different tiles, and all those tiles need different variations based off of paths. So I need a left corner, a right corner, bottom corner, all sorts of them. So we finished that up on stream, and the biggest reason I'm finishing that right now is I'm trying to get a little more pizzazz in the game. Last week I had posted some content about new art and stuff in the game and environmental art that I made, and it's looking beautiful. And one of the last pieces is doing a procedural generation art pass, because the overworld is procedurally generated. And so the tile itself needs to change its art based off of its surroundings. So to start out, we had to finish those tiles. After that, we had to do the normal maps for the tiles. Normal maps allow the player to see, it reflects light differently. And to really get the look of what I want from the game, I wanted to add normal maps. It makes it have so much more depth. And so we had to finish those, and that almost drove me crazy on stream. That was a long day. But after that, we can kind of get into more fun, which was finishing the procedural generation. Adding the art pass for the procedural generation, I did not do on stream, but that was very easy. That was just adding checks to get the 4 tiles that are surrounding the currently being checked tile, to see if it's a path or not, and if it is, update it to basically connect with those other ones. That was pretty easy. But then we started to do some more procedural generation work, which that work was to kind of make more branches in the game. Currently there is a chance that procedural generation just makes a giant kind of blob of ground, and I really want paths and branches and turnarounds, so the player gets a lot more choice and could hit a dead end, and if they made the wrong decision, but maybe there's a chest down there, so they kind of want to make that wrong decision. I want those chances and those choices, and there's kind of a story there to be told with going down those different paths. So that took about 2 streams. There's some issues with math when I was talking. I was doing it wrong. Honestly, this was also a kind of newly being imposed system on that I recently changed how I do procedural generation. It's a lot more functional way using 2D vectors so I can give each tile an XY coordinate. It's a lot more optimal this way than the way I was doing it last, but so we were able to finish getting the new procedural generation branching section in. This is, I'll probably add another rule to it, that it needs to go off 3 times minimum, because now it's a 3 times maximum. But we did finish that. It is honestly looking so fantastic. The game is coming along nicely. After that, which I did want to get into a little earlier in the week, but we just weren't able to with the bugs I was having and struggling with that proc gen, is we started to add damage reticle work. So for damage reticles, there is currently, they're all basically just an AoE and then you target a tile in its range. But I kind of wanted to have some tile or some reticles that would be rotating around the player. This allows the player to have more unique projectile paths and things like that, and then you can add pierce that actually feels more like a pierce and not an AoE. It adds a lot more uniqueness to the way players have to plan and to use their abilities. That went pretty smoothly. Pretty smooth. We did not do a lot of it on stream. I did it during the weekend, and I did post an update on my Twitter and everything about it. I really enjoy it. It's honestly one of my favorite systems, and it got me started on doing a couple other small systems this weekend. I finished adding, all of the characters now have all their unique abilities. They're all set. I am still going through and adjusting stats for each one, but now each character has proper damage formulas as well. Those damage formulas allow me to tell a ability to use its ability damage stat plus another, or just that ability damage stat, or just a different stat. This allows me to do things like base damage of 5, but plus your arcane stat of 15, and that's your outcome damage. I also added for it to adjust the tooltips. If you are using one of these damages, it'll transfer that damage formula to the tooltip and allow you to see what the math was and then the outcome damage is. And with that, I even added some effects, because there's a buff and debuff effects. I added one for the wizard called Arcane Power, and then I decided on top of that, add a little widget on top of the health bar to display the effects that are being applied to a character, and to display the number of rounds that effect is left on the character. So ultimately, this week in the dev of Desperation was very successful. My first week streaming, I hit some great milestones. I had a lot of fun. We added a lot of fun things. I'm still learning. I'm still growing. The stream is going to look a lot better in the future. These videos should hopefully come out even better in the future. I'm kind of taking them right now as almost like a podcast sort of esque, where I have all the content. I put the content behind me. I talk with you guys as a short description. I'm trying to do these all in one take, so it's a little more natural. Honestly, if the quality of them don't feel well, I'll redo how I do some of these videos, but I enjoy doing it as this way, as I'm kind of talking currently, and I'm not reading off a script. I find it a little more natural and more heartfelt. With that, next week we're going to continue even more characters. I do have 5 current enemies that are ready for implementation. All their sprites are ready, so we got all that to do. I have to do some drawing for some A sprite for those damage effects. I have a health buff and an arcane buff. I have to draw what the sprites for those buffs look like. We need to also go through and maybe do some character design and hero design and make some new characters. We currently only have 4, and characters are going to be a huge part of the game. Making new reticles and abilities and all that. That's going to be a lot of fun. So I think next devlog is going to be the devlog of combat. There's so much to combat that is so important to this game, I'm going to make it feel very well. And I also have some plans where I think I'm going to experiment on stream with different sizes and upping the size of the combat region and how enemies funnel in and how many enemies you attack to make it kind of feel more unique than just this almost like chessboard effect that I currently have. But with that, I'm making sure everything on my content and my channels are now going to be Takoa_the_game_dev, except for my Twitter, which I think is still at Perryman Takoa, which is also my Blue Sky. That's the same thing. I'm doing this as fine, I'll do it myself wasn't an accurate description of what I want the content to be. This is a game I made to help me in my career, as I wasn't, one, feeling fulfilled on the progression in my career, but also as a way I can get more games out, because it saddens me to think there's a limit of how many games I could put out. And I want to put out more games. With that, the studio Fine I'll Do It Myself is a nod at, yes, I'm doing myself because there are currently problems in the industry with layoffs and things like that. But this is more of my journey, and my journey with you guys who follow my content, are going to be the consumer. Watch me on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Blue Sky, wherever. I would like that to be a little more personal with you and I. It's not, you're not talking to a company, you're talking to a person. And I will and do take criticism very well. And like, if you hop in the stream and you go, hey, I think this character would be really cool with this ability, I'm like, all right, let's think that through. Let's talk about it. Let's make it if it's a good idea and like actually fits. I don't think Fine I'll Do It Myself games as a studio is not that connective. So we're just gonna change all that. If you see my YouTube channel, the name is differently, that's why. I do think it's a good choice in the long run. But I've rambled on long enough. This video is currently going to be about 12 minutes long, a little after. I'm really enjoying the current progress of the community and the project in general. I've had some very kind comments already on YouTube and the itch.io page, which I'll start posting here soon. It is public if you find it, but I just don't post it as it's very early. I appreciate those comments. Those really warm up my day and make me want to do this even more and more and more. So I just thank you guys for watching this. If you feel like this is content and kind of a process that you want to be with, please like, follow, subscribe, comment. Let me know if there's things you guys think I could be doing better. With that, I will see you in the next devlogs or on stream on weekdays from 3 to 5 p.m. EST, Twitch at Takoa_the_game dev. Thank you guys for being here.